Hello, friends, and I'm going to speak about this book, The Organizational Behavior. This is an amazing book. I'm doing MBA and I do not think I can pass, but increasing my knowledge. I'm a cook and I've been cooking since 7 years. It's very difficult to make YouTube videos, I can simply say. And there is conflict management and stress in the organizations. There are a number of organizations, small properties in which I have worked. I do not want to remember the circumstances in how which I have to work, but I can simply say like there is a particular rhythm in all the organization that the conflicts arises again and again. There are a lot of stress in the organization. Even if you want to be away from the stress in the organization, you cannot be away from the stress in the organization. In the current globe, and then in this book, it is written that in the current globalized market, many organizations are trying to optimize their cost on research and development work by locating the department in countries such as India and China. This is done to acquire the best talent at a competitive price and to confer more autonomy to R&D work, thereby reducing the interference from the marketing and production departments. This model has also been adopted by the Indian consumer electronics major Star Mark India. The company operates in fiercely competitive market and was already gained cost leadership by acquiring a global major. It deliberately allocated its R&D wing in Shanghai, China, and recruited the best talents in consumer electronics from across the globe. It simply sees that how these things are happening across the world, and new people are being recruited. The conflict introduction to this conflicts topic. Conflict and stress can prevent individuals from performing at their best. Like I have worked in about 10 organizations. In mine, two in one was mine, and there are stress everywhere. I can simply say it is the truth. Stress is like a beautiful friend that goes with you from one place to another, and it's like it avoids individuals from performing at their best. And I too was till I made this video, and after going through a lot of penance and meditative and all that stuff, and smoking something, so smoking a cigarette. I simply do not want to speak, but yes, these are the things that make us stressful in life. And the conflict and stress can prevent individuals from performing at their best. Stress can be caused by a variety of factors and can lead to numerous consequences. Stress is a frequent cause of conflict, and conflict can also increase stress. Conflict mostly occurs whenever people interact. It arises from because individuals have different needs, interests, and goals. It can be highly destructive force if left unchecked and can lead to low productivity and morale. Conflict is a disagreement between two or more individuals, groups, or organizations. It can be superficial or strong and can be short lived or exist for a long periods of time. Although conflict can be a major problem, certain kinds of conflicts can be beneficial when handled in a cordial and constructive manner. Mega conflict serves as useful purpose. What constitutes the optimal level of conflict varies according to the simulation situation and the people involved. Definition and concept of conflict. Conflict is a naturally occurring phenomenon with both positive and negative effects depending on its management. It is a phenomenon inherent in all organizations and arises from differences in the goals, needs, interests, attitudes, values, and perceptions during the interaction of groups such as management and labor. Essentially, organizations function as a means for internalizing conflicts, bringing them within a bounded structure so that they can be confronted and acted upon. Only further advocates that conflict is the essence of an organization. This is why an organization cannot be viewed as a purposive and cooperative system. Causes of the conflict. The causes of conflict can be best understood through the analysis of the sources of conflict. In fact, conflict triggers have already been elaborated, but in this section we focus on a detailed categorization of those triggers through the classification of the causal factors of conflict. The need. I have worked in the kitchens, and that in the about 10 kitchens I'm just saying, and it's like conflict is everywhere between the food, the person who's checking the food, and between the customers, between the owner, between the staff. There is a imbalance in the opinion. There is always differences in the opinion, differences in the power, strength, authority, responsibility, and there's a lot of stuff. And there is like conflicts are going to arise even if you are very strong spiritually and very intelligent. Then also the conflicts are going to arise. There is no way that the conflicts won't be arising. And the work environment can also be a potential source of conflict. The job roles of individual employees, their job interactions, line and staff conflict, and finally the job itself could be the potential sources of conflict. Organizational factors. Quite often the organizational factors such as authority and responsibility, excessive or low standardization, transfers, communication and scarcity of resources could be the potential source of conflicts. Okay, and I can simply say, like, from my perspective, conflict management and stress in the organization. Stress is a very difficult task. Like my organization was stopped due to this point. I had a conflict with my mother, and due to some reason I was in stress. And at last, and due to the competition in the market, I closed my shop and all this stuff, and therefore was conflict between the customers and me. There was a conflict between me and my neighbor. There was a conflict between me and my owner of the shop. There is something like there were a lot of conflicts in that scenario in the which business I did, and there was conflict between the cooks from my teachers whom I learned. Conflicts go on in all the organizations, all the big hotels, big restaurants, even in the five-star hotel. When I was not in the grooming after about 7 years ago in the Taj Rambagh Palace, there was a lot of conflict that happened. And like they told us not to come if tomorrow if you are not totally groomed. We were awestruck. What happened? Why they are not complaining about our hair, about our nails? I remember something like this is such a common scenario. I can simply say, but it pinches the heart. Conflict is not something like that can make you smile. It makes you sad. Thank you.